2024 was the year of May-December romances. Older women and younger men passionately taken with each other, often in intellectually stimulating and emotionally stabilizing dynamics. Films like The Idea of You, Baby Girl, Lonely Planet, A Family Affair, along with the Netflix series Deceitful Love and Miranda July's book All Fours, all released in 2024, with the previous couple years producing 3 more films in this dynamic. 2025 promises even more of these forms of connection, with another sequel to Bridget Jones's Diary featuring a much younger man, and Marty Supreme featuring a romance between Timothee Chalamet and Gwyneth Paltrow. Obviously, the idea of age gap relationships for older men and younger women has been normalized for decades in both culture and society. In film's history specifically, this dynamic has been utilized time and time again, though is usually not even brought to attention unless serving as a plot point. So why is this relationship reversal so prevalent all of a sudden? Is it simply a trend, or was it a crucial statement within the culture of 1 to 3 years ago when these scripts were being picked up that sparked this interest? Or is it something much deeper that we feel within the collective, urging us to share and indulge in these stories? Let's explore a few of these potential theories. I'm Ingrid and welcome to my channel. Here I discuss psychology, self-discovery, and character analysis, so if you want to see more of that, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. It really helps out a small channel and I really love doing this, so let's get into it. It's clear to see the desires of both men and women are evolving. This applies not only to the desire that we feel in regards to a potential partner, but the desires we have for the outcome of our lives and the pursuit of our personal fulfillment. Both masculinity and femininity, for better or worse, seem to be shifting closer to an equilibrium. Traits that might be deemed as toxic masculinity or masculine traits taken too far to the extreme are no longer found to be as endearing, but instead seen as a limitation on a man's developmental or emotional capabilities. And same goes for the contrary traits in women. What might be seen as toxic femininity or greatly weakening oneself to appeal or conform to those around you is becoming a less desirable lifestyle for the average woman. Of course, there's opposing sides to this, and there will be in any societal fluctuation, but generally speaking, this seems to be an age of intellectual discovery, of self-awareness, and of deeper connection. Hence, a wise, emotionally attuned, intellectually driven, and monetarily independent woman and a man with the depth to desire her become romanticized. Men are drawn towards women who possess the traits that they subconsciously desire in themselves to create that inner male-female or animus-anima equilibrium, as do women conversely. But here's where it gets even more interesting. With maturation, ideally, comes a refinement of emotional understanding, of acceptance within oneself, and a deeper connection to the internal world. With youth comes the energy to conquest, to build, and to discover your place within the external world. The former being naturally feminine traits, while the latter are naturally masculine. The pairing of an older woman with a younger man, seen through this lens, presents the opportunity for both parties to indulge in basically the peak performance levels of these characteristics, therefore making this dynamic a sort of spiritual porn for subconscious desires of the collective. Women want to see a story about a refined, creative, successful woman who can be lit by the passion and drive of youthful masculinity, while men want to see a story about a driven, career-oriented man being deeply understood and cared for by the feminine. So this dynamic isn't just about age, it's about the interplay of energies but at their potential peak. The older woman embodies this refinement, success, and depth, while the younger man brings vitality, ambition, and raw passion. Together they create a balance that speaks to something deeper in our collective psyche. They tap into a widely felt desire for a relationship that fuels both external achievement and internal discovery and fulfillment. It's obvious that the Kardashians spark trends in a massive and impactful way. The Kardashian effect is a term used to explain the surge in specific cosmetic surgeries aligned with the Kardashians, especially Kim's cosmetic alterations. Everything from the products they use, the clothes they wear, the way they decorate their homes, the celebrities that they associate with, all came and comes with an air of influence. That being said, this influence inevitably can include dating trends and, in even more extreme cases, familial trends. A very popular topic amongst the internet about 5 years ago was the anger and annoyance over the fetishization of mixed-race babies, which was thought to be partially sparked by the young families of celebrities like the Kardashians at the time.
I really want to have a black boyfriend or be with a black boy so that I can have mixed-race children. I just had to close the snap first. I said no.
This isn't to say that they don't love love their children or that they didn't love their past partners, but this influence on someone with an extremely diluted sense of self or lack of identity who may be seeking to find an identity within being like a Kardashian may cause the desire for a sort of designer baby. Then in 2021, Kim divorced Kanye West and rebounded with Pete Davidson. Kourtney began dating Travis Barker. Pop culture was obsessing over Megan Fox and MGK, and trends followed suit. Even Kylie started seeing Timothee Chalamet in 2023. The big dick energy, young, chaotic, insomniac-looking lanky white guy became in again. Kim, being the most technically iconic of the Kardashians, being senior to Pete by 13 years may have sparked an interest, or at least a perceived interest, in this older woman, younger man dynamic. This rebound was shocking and left a lasting impression, and though their relationship was short-lived, it may have given movie executives just enough time to catch on to this potential trend, leaving us with the average of 1 to 3 years of production on these films from their relationship in 2021 to the film's releases from 2022 to 2024. The movie Baby Girl especially seems to highlight this desire in the romanticization of a young, medium-hot, skinny man with big dick energy paired with a powerful older woman. Hollywood, always looking for the next profitable trend, doesn't pull ideas out of thin air. They capitalize on cultural shifts that are already gaining momentum. This fascination with Pete, with Timothee, and this maybe less developed or less traditionally masculine male archetype reflected a shifting perception of masculinity as well as desirability and gendered power dynamics in relationships. If the Kardashian influence helped push that aesthetic and energy into the mainstream, it's not surprising that film executives saw an opportunity to explore this further, just with a more polished spin that could apply to a larger audience of women, as most of the men in these films do at least aesthetically follow traditionally masculine stereotypes. Masculinity and femininity, as mentioned earlier, seem to be attempting in the masses to reach a sort of equilibrium, with more women shifting into traditionally masculine lifestyles, like placing career and self-led aspirations above the aspirations for only love, a family, and to be led. Many films explore the tension between this newly developed independence and the possible lingering subconscious desires for traditional gendered roles.
You think I don't like power?
I think you like to be told what to do.
Women are now greatly pressured societally to be everything, to be a nurturing mother, to be successful in their career, to age gracefully. Many women live under the constant pressure of fulfilling both masculine and feminine roles for themselves, or at least have deeply internalized the idea that they should be. This tension is especially evident in Baby Girl, but can apply to the other movies as well, where Romy seeks a powerful force outside of herself and finds Samuel, who's both a dominant, controlling presence and a reconnection with her lost youthful self. Her husband, who's a gentle, passive, and creative man, allowed her masculine side to flourish through their 19-year marriage, but she still expresses this unbreakable longing for something else, specifically something that has existed within her since she was a young girl. This manifests two desires: the need to surrender control and the urge to find a version of herself that was free, impulsive, and had less restriction. And now that society has begun trying to flip these gender roles, these traditional gender roles express themselves in other ways, not reaching an ideal equilibrium, but flipping it instead. Where a youthful woman of the past may have softened a hardened older man, a youthful man does the same for the hardened modern woman. Where controlling and successful men may have fetishized giving up control to a powerful and youthful woman, the modern woman does the same with a powerful and youthful man. This reversal is even hinted at in Baby Girl as well, with Samuel stating that masochism is not only a male construct, and believing that is a dated idea of sexuality. A common theme in some of these movies, specifically the idea of You, A Family Affair, and Lonely Planet, is the effect of a woman who immediately understands a man on a deeper level and wants to. She asks him questions, sparks his mind, allows him to discover new meaning within himself, while the man is intrigued by and lusts after the woman fairly quickly, appreciating her for her intellect as well as her seductive nature, and often choosing her over their former partner, who is younger. This speaks to what each party truly craves and feels nourished by: deeper emotional connection, and to be lusted after even in a time that wouldn't usually be seen as peak female seduction. These women get to experience the thrill of being deeply desired, not despite their age, but because of everything they've become. In a time when youth is still very disproportionately valued in women, the generation in these movies craves the destruction of the idea that a woman's life, her sexuality, her seduction, and her chance at new beginnings ends at the age of 30.
I am excited to be 35. Married, no kids, on the couch with my husband.
drinking wine employed, I
no
will say.
kids, 35.
Rainy, I
Good
love
luck
that.
fighting that biological clock.
She doesn't want kids, maybe. at all.
Instead, they present a radical shift, a celebration of women who are not only still vibrant and seductive, but arguably more captivating than ever. This theme reflects a larger cultural shift happening societally as well. We see shifting beauty standards, changing perspectives on relationships, and women increasingly delaying marriage and motherhood in favor of an embrace of the external and social world. The traditional timeline of female desirability is being rewritten, and this trend works to redefine what it means for a woman to be in her prime. And utilizing young men to do this instead of simply making more movies about two same-age partners later in life implies that experience, confidence, and maturity can be just as, if not more seductive than a woman in her biological youth. So really, this isn't just about finding love and passion later in life, it's about reestablishing older women as objects of desire. Not to mention that executives may have believed that creating a movie about love later in life would target a smaller audience, which actually leads me to a smaller side point about Hollywood's possible mindset in all this. To satisfy this younger generation's desire for more variation in love stories, executives may have assumed that making something like a strictly LGBTQ movie would target too niche of an audience, and making another basic love film wouldn't attract enough of an audience. The happy Hollywood medium would be a straight couple with a modern shifting of power dynamics seen through an older woman and a younger man. A common theme of the other woman, the younger previous relationship, or even the daughters in these films, is that they are presented as too externally seeking, vapid, or too focused in themselves.
Are you trying to say that I don't care about you?
Well, it's been a lot about you lately, Zara.
You really think I'm that horrible of a friend that I wouldn't care what you're going through?
You're literally making it about yourself right now as I'm telling you this.
There's even been a trend online of men openly lusting after or seeking women with no social media.
I want a wife that has no social media, or a private social media. Like, she's not in any videos, she's not in public. She has her full undivided focus on taking care of the thing that is most important to me, which is my kids and future family.
Reportedly seeing this as a green flag. Men of Gen Z or even millennial age may be frustrated with the women of their own generation, the first generation to almost fully grow up with and indulge in social media. These women are often depicted as prioritizing materialistic or self-driven pursuits over deeper emotional connections or the embrace of more traditional masculine and feminine roles.
How you react to the idea of me being financially self-sufficient.
Jesus.
What? I just didn't see you as the kind of guy who'd be threatened by my success.
Yeah, well, I didn't see you as someone who'd shoot me down in front of a room full of people because I hadn't read the right fucking Dickens book. So I guess we're both learning a lot here, huh?
Some men may crave a woman who is untouched by these influences, secure in self and not externally seeking, ready to or already has stepped into a role of maternal nurturing. For men desiring something different, a woman who remains largely offline becomes a symbol of escape from a culture that may feel increasingly detached from real emotional depth and connection. These younger men may also be overwhelmed by the constant barrage of perfectly curated images and might yearn for something more genuine and raw. This may even play into the idea of the seduction of an older woman, something seen as further from that perfectly curated Instagram baddie look and more representative of a life well lived, of wisdom gained, and a maternal or nurturing presence that may feel lacking in current culture. And finally, older millennials' Peter Pan syndrome, a fascination and unintentional indulgence in infantilization. As seen through humor, style, choice of media, daily habits, or lingo, millennials have struggled to embrace adulthood. With extremely high housing costs, a lack of livable wages, the introduction of social media and newer technology as teenagers, and more freedom to question internal satisfaction in relation to external circumstance, it's harder for millennials to assume that life satisfaction accompanies adulthood. Millennials may question the traditional American dream and were told from a young age that they could be and do anything, keeping them from settling for unfulfilling relationships or jobs, though potentially establishing a sort of throwaway culture. Not to mention deep economic and financial instability that made buying a house, starting a family, and building an exciting career less accessible. Millennials also grew up with video games, internet culture, and highly nostalgic-driven marketing. Having less kids on their own or having them later, many people continue indulging in media or hobbies that would be traditionally associated with younger people. At the same time, shifting social norms have redefined this idea of adulthood. It's not just marriage, a house, and kids, but emotional growth and self-discovery. That being said, a generation of older millennials may prefer to fantasize about relationships within this area of internal arrested development rather than in line with their external aging. Many may feel younger than they are, embracing younger humor, nostalgic memories and hobbies, and, in extension, younger partners. Many women find themselves more self-assured, confident, and emotionally mature than they were in their 20s, but are still burdened by societal messages that their desirability and romantic potential have expired.
Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. A woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
Younger men, especially emphasized in younger millennials and now in Gen Z, are sometimes more emotionally available and introspective than previous generations through being shaped by therapy culture, evolving masculinity, and an openness to unconventional relationships. This may make these men more willing to admire and pursue older women for their intellect, life experience, and confidence rather than simply seeking youth and fertility.
I quit my job.
What?
Mm-hmm. But you know what did it was watching you work, seeing you all lit up by it. When you really love what you do, right?
Always.
As we move further into an era of self-discovery and evolving relationship dynamics, it's likely that these stories and even more expansions of the idea of love will continue to resonate with audiences, challenging outdated perceptions of age, of love, and of attraction. That's it for my theories on this recent trend. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe and let me know in the comments where you think I was right, where you think I was wrong, or what you think I should discuss next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.